tend to say for the nous. So if you were saying je m'en vais, tu t'en vas, il s'en va, whatever, when we talk about bits and verbs, we're sticking our pronouns together. And because you've got two pronouns, je is the person doing it, it's the subject, me and en are going to be the pronouns. So they're never going to be separated. It's not like je te parle can occasionally be separated by je vais te parler. No, 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 no. If you've got m'en in a verb, it will always be m'en. Je m'en vais, je m'en allais, yeah, je m'en suis allé, je m'en étais allé, je m'en irai. It doesn't matter where you're going to go. Je vais m'en aller with the infinitive. It will always be the m'en stuff together. So let's look at that expression then. So I am going, I'm getting out of here. Je m'en vais. I got out of here. So your brain should be hearing right. In the infinitive, which is the God, it gives you all the information you need. It's telling me I've got a reflexive and I've also got an en. So if I went in the past, I need a poetry past with en. Yeah, I need to find a better word for that, a better phrase. A poetry past with en. So what's the poetry normally? Je me suis. What's the poetry with en? Je m'en suis. Je m'en suis allé. Yeah? If I had to fly away, s'envoler. Look at the infinitive. So l'oiseau s'envole. The bird flies away. Okay, so my infinitive tells me there is a reflexive, it tells me there is an en, and it tells me there is obviously a normal a verb. Okay? And luckily, apart from se souvenir de, which we've just dealt with, je m'en souviens or je m'en suis souvenu, most of the verbs, in fact all of the verbs I think, oh, je me suis rendu compte, all of the verbs that we've dealt with so far with these, pronominal reflexive style verbs, have all been a verbs, which has made life easier. So, if you had l'oiseau s'envole, what's your normal poetry past? Il sait. Yes? Il sait. So say I asked you to say the bird got washed. L'oiseau s'est lavé. Okay? Now I asked you to say, put the on in there. L'oiseau s'en est lavé, which wouldn't make sense. The bird flew away. L'oiseau s'en est volé. Okay? That's what would happen. Okay? So if we had, he was flying away, il s'envolait, no problem. Yeah, I don't have to do the reflexive. I don't have to do the poetry past business. I just have the se, the en, and the verb. So we are looking at verbs that do this with auxiliary être. Can we now finally remind ourselves that when we were getting really good with the reflexive past, we also got quite clever, and as with any verb with an auxiliary, a tense with a verb in the middle, we practiced 3 additional tenses, which is the I did something, I had done something, I will have done something, and I would have done something. Exhibit A. So if you say, let's go with I went. So je suis allé, you learned how to say j'étais allé, I had gone, using the pluperfect, which means was in the middle, I had gone. Je serais allé, je serais allé, the will and the would. So we can do exactly the same thing with the poetry past, as indeed we have done. So I got washed, je me suis lavé, we're only changing the auxiliary. I had gotten washed, I'd washed myself, I had washed myself, je m'étais lavé, je me serais lavé, or je me serais lavé. So equally then, we're comfortable moving être auxiliary about the place. So now, if we stuck an en in this, we can move that about the place. So I dealt with it. Je m'en suis occupé. I had dealt with it. Je m'en étais occupé. Or je m'en étais occupé, depending on your pronunciation. Je m'en serais occupé. I will have dealt with it. Je m'en serais occupé. Or je m'en serais occupé, depending on your pronunciation. But je m'en serais occupé, AIS. I would have dealt with it. So all we are doing is saying, we're taking our poetry part, which is 3 words. We're adding an en after the first 2. We're adding an en before the auxiliary, yeah, because pronouns go before the verb, and we are playing with the auxiliary and sticking in different tenses. So all those things together. Let me now just give you a couple of examples, just randomly, and you see if you can come up with them. Okay. So, I got rid of my shoes. Je me suis débarrassé de mes chaussures. I got rid of them. Je m'en suis débarrassé. I had gotten rid of them. of them. Je m'en étais débarrassé. I would have gotten rid of them. Je m'en serais débarrassé. Okay? So your mind there is going, right, I'm going to have to use the future of be because I'm dealing with a reflexive verb, but that doesn't stop me, that doesn't get in my way. Just because I'm putting an en in there doesn't stop me thinking about that. Okay? I remember you. Je me souviens de toi. Yeah? I remember it. Je m'en souviens. I remembered it. Je m'en suis souvenu. Yeah? I had remembered it. Je m'en étais souvenu. I mean, heavy French, but it's fine. He realised, il s'est rendu compte, he had realised about it, he'd realised it, il s'en est rendu compte. He would have realised, il s'en serait rendu compte, he will have realised. Come back at 5 o'clock and he will have realised that you were indispensable and he should never have fired you. Il s'en sera rendu compte. Now those all feel incredibly athletic and mentally gymnastic for most of you at the moment. So we just need to get our patterns down, okay? We need to get our patterns down, okay? So I really hope that all makes sense. Can I also remind those of you that are really advanced and are really thinking about how you're spelling these, we do not need to be making, to be obsessing about E's and S's on the end of things, because this is not a direct complement. This is not, a situation where you're going to have to add an E or an S because you've got something feminine, yada yada, going on, because most of the time the verb is applying to the object in this. So that's a small note for those of you that are writing, but not to worry those of you that it's just a little bit too much at the moment. So practice saying reflexive phrases. Yeah, je me parle, I speak to myself. Practice saying reflexive phrases where you say you talk to yourself about something. So je me parle de, or you guys speak to yourself. Vous vous parlez, reciprocal. So vous vous parlez de quelque chose. You talk to yourself about the TV show, vous vous parlez de la mission. Then practice sticking that in the past, vous vous êtes parlé de la mission. Then practice getting rid of de, then la mission, and sticking an en in there. Yeah, and remember, it will never be it, le, or la, etc. if you've had a de there originally. Never, never, never. So vous vous en êtes parlé. Okay? I really hope this is useful. I'm afraid this is one of these videos that if I teach you, all of the guys that I teach personally, you will have to see this video. This is a video I will give you as homework or preparation before a class, because this is just necessary French. It's just really important that you have this. So I hope this is useful. Any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. As per normal, I'm available. And those of you that do already, that's absolutely lovely, and I enjoy responding to your questions. So LogicLanguageLearning@gmail.com. Or find me on Facebook, which is Logic Language Learning. You'll find the page, then you can add me, it will be under Luke. You can add me as a friend or just say hello. Or email me and then I will give you my WhatsApp and then you can send me a voice message, because some people just hate typing out the questions. But I really want to stress, this is not to be written down obsessively. This is to play with sound. Eyes up, je me suis, habillant, je m'en suis. Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing, okay? Well done. Tough class, what's going on with me and the word another tough class about to come up on the, all to do with memory. So I remember, I remind, all of this business. So I really hope you watch that as well. Do please subscribe, do please tell your friends about the channel, and I shall speak to you soon. Take care.